have 10 minutes. Welcome back. You're watching Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. FRSC Corps Marshal Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi is our guest tonight. And just before we went on break, we're talking about speed limiting device. Now, some people have accused the FRSC of trying to make money from this. Now, I'm going to quote somebody. He's not saying that the FRSC is making money from it, but he says that the speed limiting device has the potential to raise about 40 billion naira. You know, he was hoping that some Nigerian local content would be included in it. Are you looking at that as well?
Already, I think before the end of this month, there is a company already that is producing this locally. That I'm going to commission it. Local production, and that will bring down the prices. Then University of Ilorin, I just produced a prototype of the same device. The same thing with Covenant University. And recently, the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology was talking about this too. And you see, the issue is that people are just calculating without having the actual figure.
Is the FRSC making any money from this?
No, we are not involved in marketing. My result, I want to see reduction in crashes. We are not collecting any fee, anything, and we are not involved in marketing. My own collection is I want to see those figures coming down.
Just quickly, before we came on this program, I asked on Twitter what people thought of the FRSC and if they were afraid, you know, if their heart skipped a bit upon sighting your men. Now, some of them said, this one from Mike, where today says he's comfortable with seeing the FRSC when his papers are current. Emmanuel Uzum says, like the police, the Corps Marshal are always in the habit of finding fault where there are none. They book people to meet their monthly targets. That's what Emmanuel says. Leo Bolahon had a lot to say. He commended your men for not taking bribes, saying that he's never seen them do that, but believes that you do not have the will to focus on commercial vehicle operators and government-owned vehicles. He says, how many of the commercial and government vehicles have spare tires, reflective triangle, jack and wheel spanner, fire extinguisher? And he also talks about how many of the government drivers in particular have valid driver's license. Do you stop them to check for some of those things you ask from private individuals?
Government drivers, we stop them. And of recent, we just completed driver's training for them. And some of them that do not have valid licenses, they were forced to renew their licenses. I think there's more sanity now in government service. The service delivery is improving. We should not be making sweeping comments when it comes to government of the day. There's a lot of improvement already.
When we talk about those who are still blaring sirens and, you know, still bullying people off the roads.
No, that's convoy, but you can see that it's been regularized now. It's been regulated, sorry. There's improvement gradually. We should not be looking at the past. Look at the present. How
far past shouldn't we look at? I mean, we all know that, you know, it's in this recent past, as it were.
Within the last 2 years now, almost 2 years now, there's a lot of improvement. It's not so, say, the use of a convoy, siren is made to clear way. I agree there's been a lot of abuse. We've taken it up with government, and government is correcting this. But I think quietly now, I can see a lot of governors now are not using siren. Siren is meant to clear the way for you, not for you at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. to be using siren. That means something is wrong with the driver. If there's emergency, fine. You use siren to clear the way.
And their plates?
It should not be seen as a status symbol.
And their plates? I mean, we see a lot of sometimes lone drivers with covered plates, and, well, you know, they're driving a bit recklessly.
I think we've been mandated by the NSA to work on this, and I'm already partnering with the Inspector General of Police to get it. It is against the traffic rules and regulations to cover your number plates, because that means there is a criminally minded attitude or approach towards that. The question is this: why are you covering your number plates? It is wrong. It's not supposed to be. So we need to watch it, and what is required for this is adherence to traffic rules and regulations. It's absurd for number plates to be covered, and we've taken this up appropriately.
Let's quickly, you know, take on this one. You've embarked on enlightenment campaigns. Now, one of the most recent ones you embarked on was with the chairman of the National Association of Road Transport Owners. You told them that no fewer than 62 road crashes involving 65 tankers were recorded in the first quarter of this year alone, with several lives lost. Now, you say that this is as a result of overspeeding, night journeys, and use of motorboys to drive tankers. What's the FRSC doing about regulating night travel?
Well, why we don't patrol at night now is the safety of my personnel. And the government is looking into this. I cannot expose the personnel to be on the road at 11, 12 dead nights because the issue of their security is what I'm working on. But for the NATO, 65 tankers in 62 crashes compared to last year is an improvement. But I still want it. I'm working towards zero crash for tankers, and I'm impressed about their support. They've complied with the installation of speed limiting device is going on. And let me clear again, not all those trucks, tankers, trailers, and trucks require speed limiting device. What is required is just calibration. That is why we've laid emphasis on this. We need to get it right. NATO is improving. I must commend the leadership in respect of this. And 65 tankers, a tanker trailer costs about 50 million now, plus the goods. That's almost 50-something. If you multiply it, that's about 3.25 billion lost. I'm talking about the economic losses, lives, property in this. We need to watch it. That is just for 65 because a tanker is 50 million. The goods is about 4 million. If you multiply all these, that is why it's a simple calculation. And NATO is responding. Most of those tankers crashes were caused by the motorboys. Somebody under 18, 19, 20. The regulation is very clear. You cannot just be 18 or 19 and be given a tanker. It's like giving a bomb to somebody to go and throw somewhere. That is, it's just act of irresponsibility on the part of the driver, allowing the motorboy who is under 21. We must get it right. Something is wrong somewhere with the driver.
Dr. I'm afraid that, that's all the time that we have on this program. Thank you for coming on Hard Copy. Just before we go, we quickly take some of your mails from last week's program. From James, you say, great efforts from your desk. That's talking about Dr. Fayemi. If we truly need to harness the mining sector, what serious efforts are you doing with your team of experts in bringing foreign private sector to make this a reality and sustainable? From Kolawole, you also talk about self-sufficiency to the extent of exporting cement. He's asking, if so, should we be buying cement at 2,500 or 2,600 naira per bag? And that's from Kolawole. We must also acknowledge the mail of Sahid Abiola Kaka, which I will reply in due course. Well, that's the program tonight. You too can also be a part of it. Do tweet to CTV Hardcopy and send your mails to hardcopy@channelstv.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun. See you next week.